Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Ethereum is playing out a short-term warning signal, while Chainlink is now retesting the point of the breakout for this pattern and is also starting to play out a new warning signal in the short term, while the price of XRP is possibly reversing on this chart right here. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Ethereum chart, and as I always say, on the larger time frames, we're technically still looking bullish when we're talking about the bull market versus bear market. So once again, this is technically still more of a bull market on the larger time frames. But as I also say over and over again here on the channel, expect some short-term pullbacks from time to time, even during these larger bull runs, as we've seen many times in the past. And so right now, once again, we're still looking bullish on the larger time frames. We're simply seeing a short-term pullback as the price is rejecting from strong resistance at around 4.1k approximately based on these previous highs. But if we could see a breakout beyond 4.1k, ideally with confirmation like weekly candle closes above 4.1k, then in that case, next I'll be targeting the all-time high at just underneath $5,000. And if we're taking a look at the 3-day time frame, once again, we're still finding a lot of resistance at around that 4.1k level. And if we're taking a look at the daily time frame, we exactly rejected from this area of resistance that I've been warning about since before the price actually made it into that area, and that's sitting in between around 3.9k to 4.1k. So once again, as I've been saying here on the channel, expect the price to struggle in that price range and most likely reject from that price range. And right now we've seen that exactly play out as expected. And in fact, we not only rejected from that area of resistance, we exactly went down to my area of support and bounced exactly from that area of support as expected. And that area is sitting in between around 34.30 to 35.60. So once again, as I've been saying, expect a lot of support, which means buyers in this price range right here. And that's exactly what we've seen as expected once again. And so this price action that we've just seen recently should not shock you. This is something that I've been talking about for weeks now on the channel since before all of this happened. So ultimately, the price of ETH is basically just in a large choppy sideways price range, bouncing around between this area of support and this area of resistance, at least in the short term. But when we zoom out, look at the bigger picture, we're still in a larger bull market. And if we're taking a look at this daily time frame, technically speaking, this bearish divergence has now actually confirmed, because we've actually confirmed that latest daily candle close with a strong rejection confirmed in the RSI here on the daily time frame. And so what this does is now technically confirms the lower high in place in the RSI, after obviously already confirming the higher high in place in the price action in the candle closes, which is known as a bearish divergence. So this is telling us that potentially over the next few days, most likely over the next 1 or 2 weeks, honestly, we're most likely going to see just some choppy sideways price action, or maybe even a bit more of a pullback within the next 1 to 2 weeks as the most likely outcome from a bearish divergence. Because a bearish divergence usually just means we're losing a lot of bullish momentum in the shorter term, but a bearish divergence is not necessarily a trend reversal signal. Sometimes we can see a bearish divergence in the short term and play out a bit of a break during a larger bull market, for example, before continuing the bull market higher later on. That is a possibility and actually a likely scenario based on this now being confirmed. And so I'll just pay attention to that area of resistance and that area of support, which are the areas on the price chart where a lot of people will be buying Ethereum at this support and selling Ethereum at this resistance. But once again, all of this is currently occurring within a larger bull market if we're simply just zooming out. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at Chainlink on the weekly time frame, obviously over the last couple of days, we officially confirmed a weekly candle close in the price of Chainlink above this previous golden pocket area of resistance, which was sitting in between around $21 to $23. And so that technically confirmed the breakout above that resistance, which is obviously a bullish signal. But just over the last 1 day, we've come back down for a retest. And at least as of recording this video, so far we are finding some support in this area, which was to be expected. Expect a lot of support at around $21 to $23. And so for as long as the price of Chainlink is holding above $21 to $23, then we're still looking good on the weekly time frame. And so once again, as I always say, it's important to understand the difference between the different time frames. In the short term, every now and again, we can see a little dump here and there in the short term, but zooming out right now, we're currently looking very bullish, especially on this weekly Chainlink chart. At least as of right now, this breakout for this bullish pattern is technically still active because we've not yet confirmed a weekly candle close back below this point of the breakout, so back below around $23 approximately. And so for as long as this just turns out to be a retest and we actually confirm this weekly candle close ideally at around $23 or above $23, then in that case, this could just simply be a retest, which can actually further confirm the breakout and strengthen this price target on the price chart, which by the way, the price target for this breakout pattern right here is sitting at around $90 per Chainlink. But of course, if we start seeing confirmed breaks back below that level, especially if we see, for example, a weekly candle close back below $21, below this golden pocket, then it would be safe to say in that case that this breakout right here and this pattern right here would be invalidated. But for now, technically speaking, this breakout is still currently active, and ideally in the bullish scenario, we need to hold above this level on the price chart when we're talking about the weekly candle closes. For as long as we're seeing that weekly candle close once again above ideally $23, we're still looking good on this chart right here. And if we're zooming into the short term, looking at the 4-hour time frame right now, as I warned about in my last video here on the channel, we are playing out a short-term bearish divergence for the price of Chainlink, with lower highs already confirmed in the RSI and higher highs already confirmed in the price. So like I said yesterday, before this latest pullback right here, I said we're most likely going to see a bit of a pullback here in the short term, or at the very least some choppy sideways price action. So as I explained in my last video, over the next couple of days, I said we're likely going to see a better opportunity for a long position, a better entry price with some lower prices coming soon. And that's exactly what we've seen over the last one day as expected. We saw that pullback, which has given us an even better entry for potentially this massive swing trade opportunity. Because as I've been talking about recently here on the channel, this trading opportunity right here for the weekly Chainlink chart for this cup and handle pattern, this would certainly not be just a day trade to hold it over a few hours or a few days. This trade would likely take potentially months to actually play out. And so it would kind of be like trading this move, for example, right here over a period of months, where we can see short-term pullbacks even over multiple weeks. We can see pullbacks or dumps in the price during a larger bullish swing to the upside. And so with that being said, when it comes to my trading strategy, I'm still just slowly accumulating a long position. Once again, I'm not going heavy all in at once. I'm just slowly accumulating a long position at different price levels to the downside. So as we continue this short-term pullback, that just slowly lowers my entry price and adds to the position. And right now I'm using relatively low leverage, basically under 5x leverage with this swing trade. And then eventually, if the trade moves well into profits, I can increase the leverage if the trade's in profits and my stop loss is in profits, in order to withdraw some margin, but that would come at a later date, obviously. For now, I'm using very low leverage and just slowly getting into the position. Once again, not all at once, because if you're getting in all at once at back up here, for example, with high leverage, then that will likely get you liquidated. And in case you're wondering, I'm taking this trading opportunity right here and a lot of my recent trades over on my Bitnex account. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bitnex below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link below this video to make your Bitnex account, you can get a 5.5k deposit bonus, and only if you use that link, you can get an exclusive 10% discount on all trading fees on the Bitnex exchange forever. But that is only available if you use the link below this video to make your Bitnex account and deposit on that account. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you don't want Bitnex, there is also Bybit, which is another exchange that I also trade on. And so I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link to Bybit, you can get a 500 USDT position airdrop. So basically a free $500 trade as your first trade over on Bybit, but that's only available if you use the link below this video to make your Bybit account and deposit on that account. But with that being said, taking a look at the price of XRP, and right now XRP is continuing the strong rejection from this strong resistance at close to $3. And so as I've been saying over and over again here on the channel, expect a lot of resistance resistance at close to $3 per XRP. And so far, that's exactly where we have found a lot of resistance at just underneath $3. And as for support, we have significant support at around $2 per XRP based on previous significant resistance becoming new support. And so far, we're pretty much exactly bouncing from $2 as expected. And so overall, XRP is basically in a massive sideways price range, bouncing between support and resistance. Once again, support at $2 and resistance at $3. And if we're taking a look at the shorter term, right now, the price of XRP on the 4-hour time frame is possibly forming a bull flag pattern, which is basically a descending parallel channel, but during a larger bullish move, a larger bull market. But in order for this to actually confirm as a bull flag and start playing out in the bullish direction with a bullish price target, we first need to see a confirmed breakout above this descending line of resistance right here, which is sitting at around $2.53 to $2.54. So once we break out above that level, and ideally breaking out above these highs right here, which will also likely act as resistance at around $2.62, then in that case, that would be very bullish. We can flip much more bullish again in the short term once we break out above these levels on the price chart with a new bullish price target. And in case you're wondering what that bullish price target could be, if we're measuring out a flagpole price target like this and bringing that over to the point of the breakout, if we first confirm a breakout once again, which right now has not happened, but if we confirm that breakout, that will set up a bullish price target for this bull flag at around $5 per XRP. And so from the point of the breakout to that price target, we're talking about possibly a 100% move in the price of XRP, essentially doubling your money with no leverage. Or for example, with a 10x leverage long position, that could be a 1000% profit, basically a 10x. But once again, I want to make it clear that right now, that price target is not in play. It is not active, and it only comes into play. We only flip much more bullish again in the short term if we first see a breakout at least above this resistance line, but ideally above these highs right here. And so until we break out above that line of resistance, for now, just in the short term, technically we are trending obviously in the bearish direction in the short term for now, but on the larger time frames, at least for now, we can still remain within a larger bull market, especially if we break out above this resistance. But as I've been warning about over the last 1 week or so, the price of XRP has likely reached a local top on this chart right here, because this is the XRP BTC chart. So XRP versus Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. And right now we're seeing a strong resistance from my exact area of resistance as expected. And I've been talking about this exactly playing out since the price of XRP versus Bitcoin was all the way back down here. Because obviously, if you've been following my channel over the last few weeks, I talked about how back down here, the price of XRP versus Bitcoin will likely head pretty much straight up towards this exact area on the price chart before seeing a strong rejection. So I said back then, this could be a trading opportunity to basically double your Bitcoin, because from back then, which is where I started to talk about this chart right here, that was more than a 100% move towards the upside. And so, for example, back down here, if you sold your Bitcoin and bought XRP with that Bitcoin, and then traded that move towards the upside, just held that XRP over the next couple of weeks here, and then right around here, if you sold that XRP to buy back the Bitcoin, you would have essentially doubled and even more than doubled your original Bitcoin holdings. But as I explained around half a week ago, once again, that trading opportunity right there is now over. We're likely reaching a local high as the price is currently struggling around this massive area of resistance, as we've seen many times over the last multiple years. And so what that actually means, in case you're new to all of this, is that it's unlikely the price of XRP will significantly outperform Bitcoin, at least over the next few weeks or months. And so, of course, the price of XRP versus the US dollar can still go to the upside in the coming weeks or months. That is still, of course, possible, but that would also mean Bitcoin would likely be going to the upside against the US dollar. So XRP would not necessarily be doing much better than Bitcoin, maybe a little bit better, but not necessarily much better like what we saw over the last month. And so that will likely be the situation over the next few weeks, or possibly over the next few months here, as the price of XRP BTC has likely reached a local top. But of course, if we enter into that larger crypto bull market and larger altcoin season well into 2025, it is of course possible that XRP BTC can ultimately break out above this resistance later on. But if that actually happens, that will likely take a period of months, or at the very least weeks. So in the short term, it's unlikely the price of XRP will significantly outperform Bitcoin. Of course, it can have some days where XRP might do a little bit better than Bitcoin, but I'm talking significantly outperform Bitcoin like what we saw over the last month. That will unlikely happen again over the next 1 month, let's just say. And if we're taking a quick look at the price of Solana on the 3-day time frame, technically speaking, Solana can still remain in the larger bull market, especially if the larger crypto market and Bitcoin remains in that larger bull market. But right now, Solana is running into a critical level on the price chart, which is sitting at around $210 and also at around $200. That's also an important level for Solana, because if we start basically breaking below those levels on the price chart, in that case, we'll likely fall back down towards around 180 to 185 as the next important support. And so in other words, we're likely going to enter a larger correction in the price of Solana if the price does not hold above around 200 to 210. Once again, around there, that's really our final major level of support, at least here in the short term, before these much lower prices. And as for the next major price target in the larger bull market, that's still sitting at around $313. But once again, as I've been saying over and over again here on the channel, between now and then, we have strong resistance to watch out for. So if we're zooming into the short term, looking at the 8-hour time frame, once again, we have strong resistance at around 260 and also strong resistance at around 246. And right now, we could also find some resistance at around 232 and some resistance at around 222, which were previous levels of support, now acting as new resistance. And as we can see, the moment the price of Solana broke below this level of support at around 222, we basically immediately head straight towards this next level of support that I've been talking about, sitting at around $205. And within around $1 of 205, we exactly bounced from that area of support as expected after breaking below this level of support, which could now act as a bit of resistance. And so obviously, if we're looking at the short term on these smaller time frames for the price of Solana, technically speaking, Solana is obviously looking bearish. We're seeing bearish price structure, like for example, breaking below key support and forming lower highs and lower lows. That is bearish price structure. But when we're zooming out, technically we can still remain within the larger bull market if we're seeing these higher lows and higher highs on the larger time frames. But ideally for the bulls out there, we need to hold above around 200 to 210 in order to actually see a larger bounce towards this next price target. And once again, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions. And the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.